Here everyone, welcome to Amps, Pedals and Pickups, and first of all, Happy New Year. We just clocked 2025. Hope you're all doing well out there. Now I'm going to be kicking off the year with a sick free tone for you all. I'm going to be publishing this on NAMM and ToneX, so if you want to speedrun everything, all the links are going to be down below. It's completely free, go and grab it. And this is basically the sound in my head when I want to pick up a guitar and play anything from skate punk like Blink-182, Offspring, Pennywise, that kind of thick, distorted guitar sound. But I also wanted like a one-stop shop tone to also work for more down-tuned metal like Parkway Drive, Bring Me the Horizon, Confession, that kind of thing. And this capture does it all. I'm so stoked on how it came out. So let's check it all out and I'll show you how to get it all going. This whole thing came about, I was practicing guitar a couple weeks ago and I've pulled up my favorite amp sims, my go-to stuff, and my ears, everything was just sounding, you know, digitally and a little bit fake, and I was like, I don't know what's going on today. So I flicked on the EBH50-153 lead channel there, took 2 seconds to dial in, everything sounded fat, it sounds great. I did a capture, the capture sounds, you know, almost spot on to the real amp. And I was like, wouldn't it be interesting if a couple weeks passes and I still try amp sims, but then I go back to this capture and the capture just feels better than the amp sims, like there's some intangible quality. And you know what? It turns out that it has been. I've been using this capture for almost a month now. Whenever I just want to play guitar, I don't need to just think about things. I just pull it up. And I think it's more, I don't know what the word is. Let's just call it a mental. I think it's just like a simple mental approach. I know that this one here was dialed in on this amp to my taste on a day where it sounded good. And so now every time I pull it up, it just sounds great to me. There's no messing around. I just pull this up, I start playing for hours. Everything sounds great, really good response under the hands. Anyway, that's story time. Let's get into the NAMM capture here. So I've got 5153 red daily driver. Red is obviously the red channel daily driver. That's just what I called it. Now you can see down below, I have a second instance of Neural Amp Modeler. That's going to be for a boost. We'll get into that a little bit later. Let's just hear the default capture as it is now. You know, as a guitarist, you just need things to feel right. It's like that little rockin' palm muting thing I did there. You know, you really need that kind of thing to feel right, and this capture is definitely doing it. Everything feels really, really good. Now, talk about metal as well. I'll grab one of my other guitars later. This is an E-flat standard. I might change it down to drop C, but it's currently an E-flat standard. Just doing some metal chords with this kind of thing. So we go from the nice pop punk, you know. Say we want to play some more hardcore style riffs. The fact that this just cuts through, it's got all that meat and girth on the low end. Yeah, really, really awesome stuff. So let's check out the same capture with the boost. Now I'm using my JHS Bonsai pack, which I've already published to Tone Hunt. That's also completely free. It's a whole bunch of different boost modes from the JHS Bonsai. Now I don't actually want to boost the volume because this is a pretty gained out patch already. So I'm just going to use the neutral side of things. So it's currently off, and then we'll engage it and see what kind of sound it makes, especially with the palm mutes. You can hear we're going to get some increased response and that kind of thing. So and then flick it on. And I can still play pop punk, skate punk, that kind of thing without the boost pedal. I always play with the boost pedal on because I really like that increased response under the hands and everything. So let's just check out some Pennywise with the boost pedal on. I'll say it again, I just love the low end that this thing's managed to capture, the sustain and like meat on that low end. Honestly, better than the digital rig I was running for my geeking tone. That is just absolutely monstrous. If you're running this stuff through a pedal, you're going to have a great time. All right, let's check out the ToneX capture. It's the same thing. We'll just check out the default capture, then we'll check out boosting things as well. So. I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but for a ToneX capture, that's got to be up there. That's got to be one of the better ones out there. Completely free as well, not selling any packs. When I get a really good ToneX capture like this, I'm actually shocked. I've gone back and listened to my old ones that there's been like hundreds of downloads, and this one just smokes it. This is such a great capture on its own. Now, I didn't do my own capture. I went on ToneNet and grabbed one. I sampled like 20 of them, and this one here, I'll just highlight it up on screen. It's too many words, but this one here is working a treat. So if you want to pair exactly what I'm doing in this video, then this is the boosted capture to use. Take a listen, no boost. And then with the boost on. For the longest time, I fully was convinced that ToneX couldn't do that level of high gain, but it does it. I think it's a hair not as good as Neural Amp Modeler, but if you're running a pedal, there's definitely an advantage to using ToneX. But anyway, I'll upload my capture to ToneNet, completely free to download. Yeah, just awesome. What a time to be a guitarist and getting your hands on this kind of stuff for no cost. Now, for the impulse response side of things, the IR, I've been using a free pack sorter to make sure that you could get the exact same thing on your end. And I put the IR first, and I dialed in the amp to the IR to make sure that I'm going to get a good end-to-end sound. And I went with a free Bogren pack, so you should be able to get your hands on this stuff for as long as they offer it for free. Now I'm just using Cabinetron here because I paid for it and I use it, but really you can use any IR loaders. There's heaps of free IR loaders. I'll leave links in the description. So I'll just look at one at a time, so I'm not using the features of Cabinetron, just use it how you would use it. But these are all, it's an IR pack that you get from Bogren. There's heaps of different ones. The one that I use most of the time is this transatlantic thickness. The other one I'll flick through is this hair, apparently. It's funny with this stuff. Some days, the IR just sounds a little bit funny. And if you flick over to different IRs, you can get different flavors of that sound. So most days, I'll go with this transatlantic one. But sometimes the hair one sounds good. Then I'll use the hair one for a week. And then I'll flick back to the transatlantic. It's just a way to mix things up. It's really just EQ shaping at the end of the day. So this is how we're back on the NAMM model. This is how it sounds. And let's flick over to the hair, apparently. Already, it sounds weird to me just because your ears are adjusting. I hate flicking through IRs, but we're going to flick through the rest of them just for the sake of the video. I can't. That just sounds... No, I'm just going to go back to the thickness. My ears will adjust. I know. Just, if everything sounds good, I know it sounds good. That's why I'm doing this video. Let me grab a heavy guitar and we'll check things out. All right, so we've got the EC1000 with the Bareknuckle aftermarks in here. I think we're in drop A. This just keeps sliding. It's such a heavy weight compared to the other one. Same patch, same everything we've been playing. This is how this one sounds. Is that kill switch? I'm sure I just butchered that. Just trying to think of some riffs. I know I'm going to fuck this up. Take 52.3. I've done a whole bunch of riffing that I'm sure I'm going to edit out of the video. But anyway, this tone is awesome. I've been using it. Like I said, if I just have a half hour, hour or longer practice session, I'll just pull this up. I know the signal chain works. I don't need to question things. And like I said, this is all born out of sometimes I'll pull up my favorite amp sims and just... They might just sound a little bit funky one day. At the very least with this one, I'll pull it up. Maybe I won't use the boost if I want a little bit of cleaner sound with like less distortion going on. Typically, I will run it with a boost pedal. If we're going to change anything, it's just going to be the impulse response. And obviously, I have way more impulse responses under my belt. Even for the free ones, if you flick through a few of the different ones here, you can get a vastly different sound with the same amp model going on. So that's it. That's how we're going to kick off 2025. If you stuck through to the end of the video, you're a legend. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this, all that good stuff helps. I'll leave all the links down below to everything. I've said that like 50 times now. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.